One of the most grotesque studies is actually one called the TAD study for seeing whether you should give Prozac to kids. Now this one actually was funded by the NIMH, but the investigators had ties to the makers of Prozac. There were 19 suicide attempts in that study by kids. And the people doing that study reported that there was no excess risk of being on the drug compared to placebo. And that's what actually sort of revived the market for prescribing Prozac to kids. And you know what the actual data showed? Of the 19 suicide attempts, 18 were on drug. I can tell you how they hid that. But think about that. You want to know about corruption? Think about announcing that there's no increased risk with fluoxetine or Prozac prescribing to kids of committing suicide. You're going to put aside that worry. When your actual data showed 18 out of 19 suicide attempts were on drug. Can you think of any worse corruption of that? Imagine you're a mother, and I know mothers, who said to their kid who got depressed over breaking up with a girl or something like that. They go to the doctor because their kid's depressed. The doctor says, oh, Prozac doesn't increase suicide risk. And then a week later, that kid hangs himself. That's in a real case. What do you think that mother thinks about the corruption that led to, that was published in the TAD story, that there's no increased risk of suicide with Prozac in kids, when in fact that's what you saw in that study in spades. So when you talk about corruption, you can bring it down to this personal level and say, is that how human beings should be? Is that how we should be treated? Or is that a science that needs, or is that a story of corruption that needs to be fixed? That's what you can ask yourself.